I'm pretty
You
sure.
can one-shot Brig. I've seen so many Brig like Mon charges.
Oh,
It's just like
you can one-shot Brig.
Bam.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of
Disgusting.
gross. I'm not entirely sure. But I kind of understand, like, yeah, you want to kill the Brig, but like McCree just fan the hammer, Nano fan the hammering someone. It's just like, whoa, okay, okay, season 1, okay, like when Nano's released, just hold back, hold up.
I haven't seen Nano fan the hammer, but now
I've
I think about
nanoed
it,
many McCrees, and they have always fan the hammered, and they kill tanks
that just
like their
feels
butter.
disgusting.
They
Okay.
it's actually gross.
Nice.
Morningstars are on the offense, going with something a little bit different though. They're going for the hamster instead, the wrecking ball.
Straight up.
HP, and that you're going to survive against the mate.
Is his plan to try and knock
the
them off
idea.
here, do you think?
I think
This is very different. We don't normally see this. In fact,
think he's
this
going
is
back.
scouting. Yeah, I think he was a scout.
I don't know why you wouldn't scout the Sombra, but
Yeah,
now
okay,
that's
okay.
equally as quick.
Like actually very quick to get on point when you're playing on that.
There you go. Switching over to the right. Okay, so standard 3-3 for Morningstars.
They're just like, ooh, they're playing May Goats again. I wonder what we're going to respond to it with. Oh, normal Goats. Okay, cool, let's go.
Sweet. What a surprise. Thank you for the Christmas surprise.
Let's see how he plays this wall, though. This is a really nice one. She can divide so much. But there we go. Everyone's over already.
Everybody jumped to the right time. They managed to get onto that little control panel. It didn't seem to matter, though, as Leaf Casper and Malzasa fall almost instantly. Still, the wall actually blocks off a lot of that healing, too. You've got to be careful. If your Brigitte is swinging, you're not going to receive the healing if you're behind the wall. But regardless, Winstrike ending up winning the first fight. Not too bad, not too shabby. And Sharek, look at that. Didn't even have a right click, Des. Only had a left click. He's on 90%.
How easy is that? It's getting to at that level already. Okay, now Kenzie, as probably expected, a bit further behind the rest of his team. Eng on 34% as well does mean they've still got a bit of work to do. But it was really nice how they managed to split that by forcing Morningstars to speed boost up that stairs as well. That's just to get into an area where they can fight. That's not even to go onto a particular target and focus them, because they don't always know where that target is. So it's really nice coming out of Winstrike to force it. Now look at where he's holding out here. They need to answer this, but they won't be able to.
That was so nice. They actually used the sound cue of the speed boost to bait Kenzie. He actually gets hit there as well. There's the shatter. It's not going to find anybody though, but Malzasa is falling fairly low. Casper and Sharek end up trading. 1 for 1, and the Transcendence used actually by Morningstars to keep it on the point. But Dragon Eddie's bet was nowhere near it. They need now to find a couple of picks after this. They have no tanky bodies to stand up in the front line, and Chow has that grab. He throws it in to potentially just end the fight on the retreating members of Morningstars. They're going to do just that as Dritro ends up going down. Kenzie actually gets taken out, however. Lucio should be able to speed him back from spawn.
Absolutely, down they go. And of course it will be a bit of attacker's advantage here as well in that sense, because of course being much closer on that first point. It's where Assault often with the first point plays into the attacker's advantage, second more into defenders. Let's see if Winstrike can keep on holding out here for a little bit longer. Morningstars are getting a couple of ultimates online as well. They do have things to play with. But like I said, that bait with the set with the speed boost is really smart.
The sound cue is so good. It's so smart.
I think it was unfixed. They almost managed to pick off in the backline. Didn't quite melt him, but he went down to about 10% HP.
And now Winstrike are like, are they going to bait? Are we going to get baited again? Ball goes fairly early, and you can see a lot of members jumping over. Dritro in the front line, but Leaf's going to go down to actually a flame strike in the back. We've got a big problem as well, because Kenzie actually has that blizzard. As soon as he lays that down, Chow doesn't really need the grab in that instance, Des. Malzasa has the shatter, and Dritro still has the beat. Winstrike reclaiming the high ground.
It's always a case of us catching out that one member, and in that case they caught both tanks behind the wall, so it meant those squishier members in front were melted down by Winstrike incredibly quickly. A nice wall to block their aggression here as well. Now they're going to wait to press around the left-hand side instead, or around the right once it's fell down. They want to push it from the high ground here, so they have that advantage when it comes to the engaged jaws. I'm looking towards this Blizzard though, because as soon as you land on that point, he is pressing that Q button, and everyone is going to slow down.
Morningstars have 60 seconds, Des. They've got 5 ults online almost. Casper's nearing his. Malzasa still has that shatter. They're going to break it down first though, and the Graviton Surge is going to hit the wall. Transcendence to max him up, but nice block from Kenzie yet again. Turns into the block, but it doesn't matter. Dragon Eddie with a 3K as the bomb gets launched into the air. Morningstars now cleaning the rest of Winstrike up. Kenzie maybe the big brain May player, but Dragon Eddie, he's got a whole bigger self-destruct.
He absolutely does, and catching out that first point does mean they get those 4 minutes to push on, so it almost looked like Winstrike might be able to hold, but Kenzie didn't have a chance to use that Blizzard. Chose instead to try and hold it here for this second point, just in case we do see a quick rush come through from Morningstars, but Winstrike have already managed to assume positions on the high ground. Not really a point they're going to give away too easy, and it's definitely not without a fight.
Okay, they're going to use speed boost on the left-hand side this time. Winstrike now have a HP advantage as well, remember. Ooh, nice shatter. Nice Chow is going to get completely blocked out. Sharek does charge straight into it. Malzasa, when he hits the floor, no healing come through again, because that wall is actually separating the Brigitte from him. Just cuts off a whole bunch of healing, and as well, you're completely vulnerable. Quick and easy team fight for Winstrike, not burning anything in that.
In that case, Kenzie was literally running around in circles, aware he couldn't freeze the Brigitte, so it's just punching her, running around in circles until she died. It worked wonders for them. Still alive, of course, in this case. Winstrike holding on now with 3.5 minutes on the clock for Morningstars. A pretty good defense so far as well, and they've kept hold of these ultimates they had. Didn't have to use a single one in that final fight. It was more Malzasa getting a bit too deep and finding himself being picked off. that slowly won that fight for them. Let's see what Morningstars can do. Again, we said it was Winstrike who've got to get creative. Morningstars have got to do the same on their attack.
Both rallies have been sent out. Winstrike still have that shadow available. Now Zasa's personal barrier is now gone from Casper, so this could be the option.
Nice.
There it is. Shield bash straight into the shadow. Chow is going to find one. Unfix with the next. That's Winstrike. Again, only using one ultimate in that fight to claim it.
Beautiful and clean. And I think it's something you find with Winstrike is you're so busy paying attention to the Graviton Surge and the Blizzard coming out of the maze that you kind of sit there and think, well, everyone forgets about Unfixed and Sharek and the combos they can deploy. It's quite consistently in this series. We saw it in Hollywood as soon as they came through the first arch after first point. We've just seen it here again. They execute these combos with near perfect precision every time they want to deploy them.
Got to do it to keep that ult bank healthy, Dez. Now Morningstars, they have Trance. They are going up against Chow's ultimate too. However, Kenzie, look, trying to be rather sneaky. Has to freeze out Dragon Eddie, who's going to take the high ground, or potentially. Malthus and Leaf are already going to go down, though. A bit more of a slower team fight, that one. Should have eyes on Kenzie the entire time. I like Dragon Eddie's positioning, though. If he actually does get up to the high ground, there's no one to really contest him up there. Maybe that's actually where he needs to go.
Yeah, no D.Va up there can touch him, although he will get slowly peppered down from below by the Zarya and probably by the Mei as well. Let's not forget there is no damage drop-off on her right click anymore. It is going to slowly chip away at that armor on the D.Va until she is no more and that mech is gone. Question is, what can you really do up there except for try and hope to eat one of the ults coming out of either Chow or out of Kenzie, because they're the big two that once again Winstrike look towards when things go south. For the most part, though, they've not had to rely on either of them to hold the second point.
They've been holding on to those ultimates for so long, and Shag's actually earned himself another ultimate. However, a beat and a trance going off at the same time, not what you want. The beat is going to run out, and that's a lot of damage mitigated as Exorath's Transcendence just lost to the end. But then another double support always going from Winstrike as well. Kenzie's Blizzard just got eaten too. Another one on the board for Dragon Eddie. Make that 3 eaten Blizzards in this fight. However, it's not going to matter in the end. Winstrike is still going to be able to clean up.
Really impressive stuff. I mean, but to be honest with you, as soon as you drop down the sound barrier and the trans at the same time, you know it's not going to go well. And they got punished quite rightly for it as well. Winstrike, again, Kenzie, Dragon Eddie, he's on point today as well. It's definitely warmed up as this series has gone on and made sure he can eat out those blizzards and stop that combo from really being able to use to effect. But Winstrike still persevere and pull through with the trans use, with being able to make sure they can hold on. Sound barrier did them a great service as well. It was enough to keep them in the fight long enough that the damage could burn through onto the Morningstars members and see the crucial one start falling before Winstrike even started seeing any health lost.
Less of an obvious of an animation as well, but when you throw the grab out, a bit more obvious when you throw the Transcendence out. Uh-oh. Speaking of trances, that's going to be one on the point. That should be enough, though. Shaq ends up going down. There you go. There's this counter Transcendence from Mei. Now Zasa going extremely low. Winstrike still with the spawn advantage as Shaq ends up coming back to the point potentially soon. He's only got 50% on ult, and they have to protect the Mei. You can see Chow diverting his attention to help Kenzie out as he doesn't go down, meaning that now Winstrike are now 6 for 6 again. Leaf ends up taking out Unflix. There's the bomb up into the air. Dragon Eddie finds one, but not before Dridro and Malzasa find the others. They manage to execute Winstrike on the point, and Morningstars end up capping second.
Quite a heartbreaker for Winstrike as well, because they had 2 fantastic separate defenses there. But at the end of that second one, there were about, I was about to say about 20 seconds. I thought it was 22, but 20 seconds remaining. If they'd held out just a little bit longer, they removed the opportunity for Morningstars to have a second attempt, which just introduces risk into this for Winstrike. Now they get to go on the attack, though. I'm curious to see what they choose to try and roll out with. Mei, I don't know. I wouldn't use it here, probably too much high ground to play around. You're probably forcing yourself into a choke more than anything else. Depends how quickly they can move with it, but I do expect they'll try and mix things up a bit.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Just because, like you said, the high ground on Mei, not too great. Sort of on the high ground, unless you have a speed boost on Lucia to get back up on the right-hand side. We'll have to see what they want to run out the gate with. Obviously, Morningstars on the defense now. And I thought I had a little bit earlier too, before the fight ended up starting. Dez is Graviton Surge a little bit harder to eat. The projectile's a bit faster. Also, has kind of the same animation as the right click from Zarya. Mei. Not so much. She actually throws out her other hand that doesn't hold the ice gun. I'm not entirely sure what the ice gun's called, but we're going to call it the ice gun for now. So it's a bit more of an obvious animation, so Dragon Eddie can really look for that to come out. You can bait the Matrix, of course, by actually using the melee, because again, Mei uses her left hand to melee, right? So you can bait it out in that regard. Same with McCree and Flashbang. I do it a lot. You just melee them, and then Genji ends up deflecting, and then you throw the Flashbang. You can instantly kill somebody. So you can actually, in that instance, in that very small microplay, bait out a Matrix usage, and then just go in for the Blizzard after that.
Well, it isn't stopping Dragon Eddie so far. Seems to be pretty consistent when it comes to those eats. Morningstars rolling out with something more conventional, I think. It's something we've seen quite a lot in Overwatch League, actually, is the go-to defense on this map. Before it was Hanzo, it was Widowmaker. Pretty much a tried and tested setup here. Holding the high ground with those spammable Orisha shields. You have Leaf raining down health from above with the Junkrat. course, all the spam out of the Orisa does you a great favour as well. And you're looking for Casper here to get picked, just to try and slow them down. But this comp is very difficult to move.
Yeah, we've seen this, like you said, comp quite a lot. We have got Leaf on the Junkrat. Going to put that trap down in front of the Orisa shield as soon as Shark does jump up, because you can imagine they're probably going to be running the Winston here, and you can see, obviously, Winstrike are doing so. Morningstars have this information, so when Shark does go for the jump...
Look at the health bar, just get melted almost. Kenzie down to 50, main down to about 10.
Got to be a bit more careful than that, I think. Just a little bit. Storm Arrow does a lot of damage.
Defense Matrix might help.
One Fix gets taken down to sub 10 HP as well. Casper's already up to 65% ult charge. Although, look at Leaf. He's already at 80 as he finds double kill. Unfix and main. They get softened up, Des. They're like a pin cushion as Hanzo fires them in, and then Leaf just kind of hold left kick in their general direction, and he ends up getting a couple of kills.
Yep, almost getting the DMET. There we go. DMET comes through as well. That's been more slow down onto Champ. And no real need to finish him off. And of course, Mercy bringing that res to fight Redro. One of the big OG Mercy players that we have here in Europe as well. Pretty happy to be back on one of his go-to mains. Obviously played quite a lot of Lucio this season as well, as Goats has kind of come into the mix.
Yeah, Tridd's popping off on ladder. I remember a couple of months ago at least, did reach a fairly high placing in top 500, just playing Lucio, and he was like, I'm not a Mercy, just a Mercy player, guys. Look at my Lucio, it's insane.
He is.
He is a Mercy player at heart, but Lucio's also pretty damn clean. There's the Riptires coming out. It's going straight on behind. It has 100 HP, already 50 of that taken away. Aang didn't stand a chance. You can obviously kill it with the Lucio sound, the sound blaster, but very rare that actually happens. The Tire is just so quick, and that ends the team fight right there and then.
Working out so well for him with his defense as well. Down to 2 minutes now on the clock. Winstrike. Pressure's going to be coming on a bit. They're throwing a few ults into this and haven't really yielded any big results for them so far. Morningstars, though, well, they've already just used one. They've still got a couple of ultimates to play with, and let's not forget, I speak about it all the time, that ult coming out of Orisa has the highest team fight win percentage when it is deployed. It's so effective at giving the whole team a 50% damage boost. It's hard to ignore. It's even more so than a nano boost. It's so scary to deal with.
Nice anti-nade. Only landed on one, though. Couldn't actually pick off the target in the end. Look at Leaf, by the way, just standing so far back. There's the Orisa ultimate. The supercharger gets deployed. And they have the kills, Des. It was pretty easy, like you said. It's pretty hard to actually negate a lot of that healing. That's actually a nano boost onto Leaf as well. Not sure you needed that. And imagine getting damage boosted, nano boosted, plus the supercharger as well. The triple damage boost.
It's pretty absurd. I don't think you need that much damage. Although I guess it's kind of fun to see just how much health you take away in a single strike.
Nice.
There we go, the damage coming through.
They actually slept him from the high ground, actually. Extrath managed to get the nice clean snipe. It does actually do a little bit of damage to Sleep Dart too, so when you get kills with that, it always feels really good.
I guess one thing you have to think about is that for supports, their concern is layering ults. You don't really think about that with tanks and supports together, right? Like deploying the drum and also Exarath coming out with the nano boost. It happens, right? They've still got 3 ults to play with. It should be no concerns for Morningstars.
There's the Riptire. Big triple kill. They've only got 53 seconds remaining, Des, and they haven't actually got a successful ult off just yet. Kenzie does have that grab, and that's all they're going to have to rely on. But look, Casper has had this ultimate for so long, he hasn't had to use it. And they can pull off the London Spitfire combo as well with the Holt.
Absolutely, kind of a bit of a replay coming through as well. Just getting it down from the high ground. It's so easy. And this is the thing about Goats is, yes, it's quick to move, but it isn't mobile in terms of being able to split apart easily and dodge things like that. Just too easy for Lee to drop it down.
Yeah, he's going to land it through the floor. Only just catching mains. He tried to use that shift to get away, and now one healer down and 20 seconds remaining. Des, bad news for Winstrike. Leaf's going to have another Tara line fairly soon as well. A rally coming out from Winstrike to make sure a lot of that damage is mitigated as they try to take the high ground. A Storm Arrow and a couple of bombs from Leaf ends up killing off Unfixed. A Graviton Surge straight on top of the Orisa and Diva. The supports, the DPS, they weren't capped in it, Des. There's a beat to save 3 of Winstrike members to get them on the point. Overtime is triggered, but Leaf sends out the Tide to end it all. Extract finds the last kill. Overtime depleted. Morningstars will take the series 3-0.
But we do still have a 4th and final map to play on. Morningstars, though, with a very convincing and dominating performance. That's exactly what you expect from a team that has been 4-0 so far in these groups. So yes, Winstrike now find their fate pretty firmly resting in the hands of Giganti. Again, 1st and 2nd qualification spots are so important because you get that order for qualification into next season, but playoffs are still, of course, on the agenda for the boys.
And with that map win as well, that lands Morningstars with a perfect season in terms of series score. So that feels pretty good for them. A big confidence boost and morale boost going into playoffs.
Absolutely, and coming in as well as a new org. Definitely can't complain. Old faces, new organisation. Clearly that support is doing favours for these boys as well, who really did just have a fantastic series. ZP somewhere right now is super happy. Junkrat exists, by the way. It's always been his response to tanks, and he's just seen it work absolute wonders.
Leaf was popping off, same with Casper, only had to use the ult in the end, secured a kill, secured the map, and the series win. We're going to jump to a quick break though, map number 4, coming on. very soon. Welcome back, guys, and with that win, Morning Stars will complete their dominating season, not losing a single series in Contenders Season 3, but there's still a map to play for as Winstrike get to choose yet again.
Absolutely, can all way into it again. Giganti now hold the fate of Winstrike in their hands. Route 66 is going to be the final decider. Another map pick being bought by Winstrike. Again, if you lose the previous map, you get to pick the next one to be going to Route 66. And I'm curious to see what they choose to bring out here. We haven't seen too much May being employed by them before when it came to this map, so maybe now it's time to mix things up a little bit and change things around.
Well, we're going to jump into a pause first up, though. No worries, guys.
Why not?
Shouldn't be too long. Winstrike just sorting out, and Morning Stars just sorting out a couple of things I can imagine. Oh, there you go. Quick unpause. Not bad, not bad.
Change some mouse settings real quick.
Yeah.
Done.
You got, wait, what? No. DPI settings on your mouse, man. That's what you got to use. So you spin super quick and show off on your Mercy skills.
That's exactly what Shark is about to do. Get into spawn and just spin.
Just spin to win. When is there going to be a spinning hero that deals damage when they spin? That's what I want to know. Be like a Beyblade.
Wait, you turn onto like turbo mode and just spin and be like, yo, the faster you spin, the more damage you do. Come on,
Lucio speed boost, that would be insane. I guess you have Wrecking Ball, which technically spins because he's a ball.
I've seen a few Lucio players do that lately, actually, where they just kind of really quickly move from side to side, and everyone's like, how the hell do you shoot that? And it looks almost bugged. I'll have to show you later. It's really weird.
Well, it's like, yeah, well, they're just strafing super quick. The way you shoot that is just shoot the same spot over and over again until you hit their head.
And it's like, yes, your head will be here at some point in the future. There we go, you're dead.
That is how you do that. And especially with people like soldier strafing too, they can do it. But yeah, you just hold your mouse in the same position, Des. Click their head.
I like this out of Morningstars as well. So they're probably aware there is some style of full hold going on, as we've seen being very popular this season. So what do? You bring the double projectile, maybe you bring the tracer to the party as well, just try and get some scouting down, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do, find out where they are. They know now they're inside this train, which is a really nice spot to hold. Now it's a case of poking them out.
Winstrike have a main heal too. They have got Kenzie actually on the Ana instead of a Moira, instead of a Zenyatta. That nano boost is going to be very, very helpful, as well as that anti-nade. Dragon Eddy taken fairly low. They are obviously running triple DPS here. This was a solo tank Malzassa. And with Unfix falling to a straight headshot from Dragon Eddy, that is very bad news for Winstrike. Their 3-3 hold just disintegrates.
It's not even a 3-3 hold at this point, mate. This is a 4-2 hold. They're holding with 4 supports, and they couldn't even keep Unfix alive.
I am actually blind as a bat, Des. Yeah.
When I saw Kenzie, I was like, oh, Kenzie doesn't really play support. What's Eng playing? Wait, he's still playing Lucio? What is going on here, guys?
Yeah, I actually got a little bit confused there too. I did not expect that at all, but fair enough. 4 supports hold, couldn't keep 2 tanks alive. That's a bit unlucky for Winstrike, however. Morningstars, they're now going back to spawn to change a couple of things up.
Morningstars did do the right thing, though, because they played such an aggressive comp with the triple DPS and the Wrecking Ball. Their intent was to get into the backline, and you saw them beeline straight for Kenzie at the start. Pretty much immediately, Malzassa was the first person to go for an engage. He actually hit Kenzie before the front line even connected around the train area. So straight away they were like, right, we know what they're doing here, let's stop this one out. I wouldn't have seen it in scrims, God knows. However, things are now returning back to normal. May is coming through for Winstrike with that May Goats. Morningstars doing a very similar story, but of course keeping that Diva and swapping out the Zen for a Moira.
Yeah, what happened there as well is Morningstars backed off to spawn, Winstrike then came out and then saw the entire swap up and actually had to go back to spawn themselves, so it was kind of even. Kenzie looking for a wall, doesn't find anybody. However, Dragon Eddy finds a couple of members. Kenzie instantly popping that block. That's pretty bad, actually. Morningstars could aggress on the target rather quickly. He finds 2 kills, and Shark and Unfix end up going down. And Casper, super high energy with no one to shield his damage coming from. Incoming, sorry. And that'll be Morningstars with another clean team fight. That'll be them capping the point as well. 2 minutes. Will turn into a whole lot more. Winstrike need to be able to reconvene on this high ground. That's why you've got to use this May.
I always love how when May goes into Ice Bucket, it just goes third person, and instantly she like curls into ball and just like... Doop,
yeah, it's when you jump at the same time. It's like,
it's so good, yeah. Always beautiful to see, but now they've got to start trying to turn it into a victory, it feels like, because Morningstars, as in most of the maps so far today, have bowled over Winstrike when it comes down to these initial fights. Got to see them start pulling some things together, and I do like that this map enables them to play a lot more with that May. When running into a building, you have the walls to pop down, you've got the combos in these more narrow street areas at the second point of Route 66. It'd be very interesting when it comes down to the third and final point.
Wow, Transcendence used super early from Winstrike. There is the rally as well to see Morningstars through the chaos. That is a shatter from the back line as Malzassa ended up over the sign somehow. All in good favour though for Winstrike as they do manage to take out the front line of Morningstars. As soon as that animation comes out, Dej, you are locked in place, of course. So Malzassa was a little bit worse for wear in amongst the rest of Winstrike.
A little bit stuck, but Winstrike, they're the ones who have come unstuck with 5 ultimates about to come online against Morningstars. We have 2 or 3 about to come up.
That was a very good shift actually onto Eng. He was like dipping around the canyons and you could see the whip shot come out.
Yeah.
Donk. See you, mate.
Instantly dinging away. Well, they know they're coming from here as well. If he gets this wall across, then maybe can lay them at least prevent them from getting across on this bridge.
What are you doing? He's like, let's go, guys. That's like, he goes inside. It's like, actually, we're taking the bridge, Studio. Please come back. Please come back.
Slow down, guys. Don't get too excited. It's okay.
He did make his way. A little bit of do-si-do, though, as Winstrike end up. They're defending, by the way. They're not attacking.
We saw a team do this last week where they hold themselves in on the point because if that rectangular shield from Reinhardt fits you so well into the gap from the archway, they've got the Shadow online, so they're waiting for them to drop. Here comes the drop now. This is where they can go for the push. Winstrike can potentially wipe them out again.
Oh, Leaf is caught off in his own here. Nice actually eat there. That Matrix actually eating up a lot of that damage from the Fire Strike. 2 ultimates coming out. There is the Blizzard as well as that self-destruct in the air. Barrier destroyed from Shag as he blocks the entirety of that damage. The Shadow's going to hit the floor as Malzassa was all frozen up. Wow. However, still staying alive somehow. Malzassa getting beaten around like a ping pong ball.
Assists.
Yeah, all those assists. Unfixed +4 as Morningstars end up going down. Don't know how Malzassa survived that long.
It was really nice because the Diva got in the face of anyone trying to aggress him at the start and boot them away. You had the heals coming through, of course the Transcendence expired and he still got dropped up by the Brigitte pack as well. It was literally a matter of both teams throwing every resource they had towards Malzassa. Life of a main tank in the Goats meta, what more can you say?
You're either a right click holder or a left click holder, Des.
And everyone is a W holder.
Well, I don't know about that, mate. Some people just highlight hold S, man.
You can be an S, man, if you're running away, sure.
Just take the S with your keyboard. It's not needed and go. Chow's almost got a grab, Des. No shadows available for either teams. As I say, that one gets laid down from Morningstars. They managed to catch Unfixed in the back line. Dragon Eddie claims one. Sharak is going to fall as well. Unfixed, he is dead. However, Chow still has that Graviton Surge. They aren't going to be able to hold those. You can see Morningstars are just chasing them back to their own spawn. Chow goes extremely low. A beat comes through from Morningstars to end and clean up the rest of the fight. Still, this cart is being contested, so they are wasting a whole bunch of time as they find it clearly impossible actually to kill Aang. Had the orb, had the Harmony Orb on him as well, so he was almost unkillable. Finally, Malzasa finds it, but Morningstars, they're going to have to fight one more time. Winstrike, they've got the combo online.
It did take them 2.5 minutes to break that hole coming out of Winstrike as well, so definitely a solid defense coming through. They've definitely managed to burn that time back down and give themselves more of a fighting chance if this does get towards the third and final point. Winstrike have got the combo. Like you said, that combo they've been using all series long, going for the Graviton Surge into the Blizzard. That's what I'm looking forward to, and get it in with Dragon Eddie. He's been one hungry boy today. He'll be looking to try and eat one of those two ultimates to shut the whole thing down.
See, the Blizzard, man, that's what you got to do. That's the win con of Winstrike right now. If you eat that, it's pretty much all over. Although Winstrike have a couple of ults available. 2 grabs, there's the Blizzard. Doesn't get eaten this time. Double Transcendence, 2. Equal ults right now. Self-destruct in the air. Sharak has to block it. Manages to get it up in the nick of time as well as that beat coming out on top of 5 members. Morningstars still just kind of forcing themselves back now. They need to watch out for Kenzie. The Shatter from Winstrike is going to send a couple of members to the fore, but Kenzie in the back line was ignored for so long, but finally was turned on by Leaf. There you go, the kill onto Sharak now, as he doesn't have the mate to back him up. The Walls used more of his defensive tool, especially when Morningstars are aggressing. Malzasa's earned himself another Shatter coming up soon. Winstrike end up falling, but look at that time back, Des. Like you said, 2 minutes were burnt earlier, and now they've only got 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining.
And that Blizzard went down at the same spot as where the Graviton Surge was fired from, so the whole team of Winstrike and the Blizzard were in the same position. For Morningstars, for the most part, it was a case of hold up the shield on that Reinhardt, and they were safe. Malzasa did get booped over the wall at one point, so they did get their Zarya frozen up. But even then, Castiel still didn't go down. Even when he got put down on the ground, Mate still could not bring him down. So they managed to survive, and that's how they won that fight. Big Shadow blocked out by Sharak.
Both rallies have been used as well, Des. Everybody's going to be rather chunky, including Main and Chow, who received a whole lot of armor. Casper goes extremely low, gets saved by the sound barrier. He's almost at 100%, and that Transcendence used really early. Casper turns around, tries to press S, but a wall's in the way. He actually attaches the grab straight to the wall, and Malzasa finds 2. The self-destruct might not even been needed. That'll be the wall used against Winstrike this time around, as they end up pushing it down the home stretch.
Into that final spot now, like you say, 45 seconds to play with, more or less, pushing in towards the third and final point. Winstrike, they've got that Blizzard to play with. It can be all they need to close out this round, assuming they get it in the right spot and don't get themselves caught out again. Morningstars have got nothing to play with here. The only thing they're looking towards, realistically, is going to be that Earth Shadow coming out of Malzasa. If they can get a nice clean stun down onto the front line of Sharak, this can be theirs to win.
Oh, Casper tried to go for an elbow drop there right on top of Sharak. There is the Blizzard. The wall is going to cut a little bit of that off, but it doesn't matter. Malzasa, it does get frozen. Leaf as well. 22 seconds remain. Dragon Eddie claims a kill, but Winstrike have spawn advantage, and they have the beat, Des.
I'm going to say Blizzard was deployed first. It did the wonders for them they were looking for. Malzasa died long before he had even a chance to use that Earth Shatter. Now they've got to go for a final push back in with 10 seconds. They can probably still touch point, but they've got to be quick.
6 seconds, 5 seconds, the rally to initiate Morningstars. Malzasa has the slam, however goes extremely low. He's going to receive the armor pack, most importantly, to keep him alive in the fight. Dragon Eddie gets frozen up so he doesn't eat that Blizzard or the grab. Chow has got it, nice, use the Transcendence in order to keep him alive. Graviton Surge on the cart now. Tridd going extremely low as he ends up going down. A beat as well for Winstrike. This could just seal the deal. Morningstars, they're losing members rather rapidly. Tridd falling is a lot of healing actually lost. Chow being alive as well up on the high ground. He is going to get contested by Leaf, but they still need to contest. Overtime is in session. Dez and Casper, he's near the grab. But Kenzie is going to go down. Leaf's going to follow. Spawn advantage for Winstrike. You've got to remember, Casper, desperation grab on top of the point. The rally is going to save them, or at least you hope so. Dragon Eddie Specs is going to go down. Malzasa joins back into the fray, instantly grabbed. Sharak finds 3, and Winstrike are going to be able to hold before the final point.
It's kind of funny just seeing Dragon Eddie fly into the center of that grab as if he was a self-destruct, but was like, I've got no Q key. Damn, it's a shame, no ultis online, we can't go for a big executing combo, but this at least guarantees that this map will end here. They either fall short or they complete it out, and Winstrike find themselves going 3-1 or 4-0. They still lose the series. It's already been won by Morningstars, but again, when Gigantia are on your trail, every single map can count.
What do Morningstars do on the defense, Des? That's the question. Are they going to hold straight up like we've seen before? They can obviously run Dragon Eddy. He's already shown he's pretty good at hands, though. Finding a nice pick in the start, and they can also run Leaf on the far too. Makes more sense to go 3-3, considering you know Winstrike are probably going to run that Mega.
Morningstars are in a nice spot where I think they're confident, they know, they're comfortable, they can do this. Whatever they choose to roll out with here, Winstrike will be able to find an answer to, because what you'll find them doing is getting rid of the scouting, coming straight back out and being like, okay, well, they're running this. Well, what's the ideal response that we can play? Let's go out with this instead. So it's always tough to go for that full hold. You're more just looking to burn time so you can get back to the garage by the time you've lost that first full hold fight. Now, nothing too surprising here. Rolling out with the dive goats, as we call it, or the Winston goats. Just giving themselves a bit more mobility than what the Rhine offers. It enables you to hold this first point a lot more effectively if they choose to go for the full hold, because you can jump between the low ground and the high ground, you can move very quickly, and you can pressure the back line. And that bubble, it can block off a lot of angles the attacking team can have, because, of course, all the fighting hangs around this train graveyard.
Well, Mazhasa and the rest of Morningstars are going to hold up fairly close. Like you said, the train wreckage is going to be their home for the start. Winstrike are going to obviously Sonic Arrow out like most teams do nowadays to spot any shenanigans. Tridd hiding behind the cart. Everybody can see you, mate. Yeah, there you go. Discord Hope, he realizes it now.
Now he knows. It's more of a question now for Winstrike of how do they get them out of here, because Exarath is very safe on the high ground. Here comes the pressure. They're charging straight out and they've made him out as well.
Imagine being Exarath in that situation.
What do you do?
Stuck in the train car, there's a wall behind you, and there's 4 members of Winstrike looking at you. at this point, you're like, well,
there's only one winner in this situation.
What? I'm not going to be able to kill 4 people as then. Not even if you're Jonak in that situation, unfortunately. Nice little super there from Lee. Ends up going down eventually as Chow is able to farm. A lot of grab percentage there. 50% already for Chow as they do move into this first corner.
Yeah. Well, they managed to waste about 45 seconds and then said they'll be back to be able to contest the garage in time. It's now a case of just not losing any more members to a stagger or getting too deep with this one. But Winstrike are officially on the move towards the end of first point. The Morningstars have now got their position on top of this garage. Everyone's here ready to party, and this is where the first and next big scrap will really determine how the rest of this first point goes.
Well, they have got the May. That's the most important thing, Des. Remember, the card does break the wall, however. I think they've learnt it from last time. Leaf tried to get the shield bash onto the Lucio, but the Lucios are having a little bit of fun their own. Tridd and Hing just up on the wall. Speaking of being up in the air, Dragon Eddy somehow all the way up in the sky. 1-for-1 as Casper and Unfixed end up going down. Kenzie gets booped forwards, actually, to the detriment of the rest of Morningstars. You don't want to put him behind the team, because then you can't actually shield off the left leg. Dragon Eddy gets farmed, and Chow ends up finding the kill. I'm not sure what went on there, Des.
Gladiatorial combat apparently inside the tunnel seems to be the aim of the game, rather than worrying about trying to barrier out or eat anything else. Something like Kenzie bringing out the Blizzard. Like, I don't know. Okay, we'll take it. Tank versus tank combat. Wet noodle fight, go.
It's just Kenzie getting booped into the back line. It's like, thanks, guys. I'm just going to freeze your tanks now. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess we're dead. 4 minutes and 30 seconds now remain for Winstrike, because they end up capping third.
They do, and Winstrike, again, that combo all feels like a curse to talk about it too much, but they do have the Graviton Surge with the Bay Blizzard online. Need to see music quite effectively here, because so far, Morningstar seems to have always had an answer. They've even got the trans and the sound barrier online, so they can answer anything realistically that Winstrike can throw at them here. It's on them to execute quick and effectively to catch Morningstar by surprise and win this out as quickly as they can.
Well, they've got B and they've got Trans. 2 support ults that could outlive the combo. Winstrike almost got 6 ults online as Main's nearing his. Very aggressive are Morningstars playing up to the card to make sure it doesn't gain any extra distance. Double sound barrier advantage on Winstrike though. Kenzie didn't receive any. There's the Blizzard right on top of the bite, right on top of the Graviton Surge as well. Kenzie goes into the Icebox to survive. The self-destruct on the point executes Aang. Malzasa is still alive somehow in these fights. I'm not entirely sure how he's getting there. He ends up going down in the end as he does drop the shield, and Main just sends a couple of orbs at his face. Unfixed takes out Leaf, and the rest of Morningstars are going to go down and follow.
They did the right stuff there to survive that initial combo, and again, Kenzie, bit of acknowledgement there, throwing it into the middle of the bikes. Definitely did a favour in terms of keeping it nice and safely protected until it rose up and froze everyone from the left-hand side. I was concerned for a second that, again, Dragon Eddy would have his eyes on it and make sure he could swallow it out, but he wasn't actually calling the grab himself and found himself getting punished off the back of it.
Now, the situation, too, if you throw it to the side of the Graviton Surge, it forces your Reinhardt, if they're not elevated off the ground, to face towards the Blizzard in order for you not to get froze. And then you got damage coming out from the side, so it was a really horrible situation for Malzahn to be in.
That's
Shark
exactly what
does
they're
have
doing in the
Shatter.
series.
Kenzie is dead. So one combo piece down for Winstrike. Shatter hits the floor. That'll be leap pinned and killed. 1-for-1 trade as Shark is going to go gladiatorial style again. Dez straight up against Malzasa. The flame strike, the fadeaway to kill off Malzasa. Winstrike still man advantage, and Dragon Eddy with nothing to hide behind now. It's all about the stall game for Morning Stars. No ults need to be used in this situation. Rally from Leaf was actually used in the end. Two grabs on top of each other. Aang trying to get a little bit of damage. He's trying to kill one of them, and a beat to actually follow it up. Drijo was almost no HP, but he managed to kill Sharek. In fact, Morning Stars are actually turning this one around as Drijo goes man mode and kills off Unfixed.
Managed to turn it away back and send them packing with their tail between their legs back towards spawn. Come back and try again next time, Winstrike, when you are a bit stronger, but they will be returning with 3-4 ultimates on side. Morning Stars, though, even in this case, starting to get the hold in. It looks a bit shaky after they got through most of that first point and the second point pretty quickly. But now they seem to have found a spot where they're quite comfortable holding, and no surprises here, it's going to be the high ground.
Just eat it, Dragon Eddy.
Just eat it, forehead.
Just you can eat it, dude. That's all you need to do. But they haven't got the grab either, Dez. They're relying on a vanilla Blizzard this time around. They're going to swap places once more as Morning Stars looking like they're on the offense, but they're actually on defense. Aang is going to find X-Rat, first casualty of war for Morning Stars. Malzasa has the pummel into the ground. There you go, lays it down, hits one. Kenzie is going to go down past the shield of Sharek. However, a lot of damage onto Malzasa as the Transcendence was used to make sure they survive the engagement. Even losing one member there, Morning Stars, they knew they had to just turn it around instantly, otherwise you are just going to lose out on the damage front. One ultimate use from Winstrike, and they've got 5 remaining as they're going to cap second. Yeah, both sides using one, but ultimately the Transcendence being far more effective, just giving them that extra 300 H per second to keep them alive and make sure they can push back in and melt down those members from Morning Stars who were trying to threaten their point. Malzasa was a little bit isolated there, trying to push into 6 members as well. This meant that they could turn around once that Trans was active, push back in and bring him down, almost no troubles at all. But now we get inside the third point. They've got 2.5 minutes to try and complete here, Jaws. That was a nice shatter, but Malzasa is going to receive a shield, and his own shield is going to block it as the grab is on the surge. There's another one. Both grabs thrown now, and that's going to get eaten again. Dragon Eddy, one hungry boy. 4 Blizzards eaten currently. That is the score for Dragon Eddy. Kenzie, unfortunately, has his ult eaten. Xiao used the grab as well. The combo not sufficing for this team fight.
Maybe not the best placed Mortifier, you might say, coming out of Caspian there, trying to get some extra ult charge. He tried.
He tried.
I'll give it to him. It's the new thing with Zarya, apparently. Everyone likes doing it.
Morning Stars, they got 2 ults, Dez. They got a couple coming online too, but Winstrike have only got 2 as well. Dragon Eddy with the vanilla bombs has been very good so far. Malzasa goes extremely low. Both rallies have been activated. Xiao, very healthy now. 500 HP on the Zarya as he's got armor underneath the shielding. No one falling just yet. Malzasa's always towing the line of aggression as well. He's not scared of going forward and swinging away to try and keep Winstrike at bay. Now he gets clouded out. Xiao, did you see that? Looked away for a brief moment, instantly got shattered, but quick reaction time from Main. However, straight after that, that was the instant graviton surge on top of the car. Nice. The Dragon Eddy self-destruct kills 2. Unfixed is going to fall as well, make that a 4. Morning Stars continuing to hold at the gates. A minute remains, Des.
They've managed to get down to this stage as well. Only 1 minute to go. Like you're saying, if they can just win one fight, then it becomes that huge final last-second scrap over the actual third point itself, which would give Winstrike a map victory, or it would seal the fate of Morning Stars going 4-0 and taking over a very dominant 5-0 standing in the group with a perfect score to match at the very end in this series.
Kenzie already using the Ice Block fairly early. Went low. Obviously, Ice Block does heal you. You can actually get healed in Ice Block now as well if you receive an Orb of the Hum. Or Anna obviously just shooting you. A little bit of a switcheroo once more. Worked out with Winstrike last time. They still have Blizzard. Xiao nearing that ultimate also. There's the beat from Morning Stars. Not laying down the shield just yet, but he lays down the shatter. Sharek in the front line ends up falling. Aang is going to fall as well. The Blizzard not being used just yet. They've got 30 seconds remaining, Des. They got the combo online. It's all about Dragon Eddy now. This is the win condition for Morning Stars. They've only got the Transcendence. They have no beat, no other support ultimates available.
Kenzie kind of pieced out there. He was like, I want to keep hold of this. They've got 5 ultimates to play with. You're looking at the Transcendence from Exorap. He can be the savior of the day here if he uses this at the right time and manages to interrupt this combo coming out of Winstrike. Equally, they can close things out here and now. All they need is just one big ult combo, Jaws, and this is theirs.
There's the rally from Winstrike. They got 4 ults online. Most importantly, they got that combo. There's the grab. The Blizzard's going to come out as well. It's not going to get eaten this time, but 2 Transcendences are going to be unleashed. No one's going down just yet, but Malzasa gets frozen up. Still, the Transcendence is keeping them alive, but Sharek, he doesn't want any more of this nonsense, is able to carve through the rest of the members of Morning Stars. They are going to fall here. Winstrike are going to continue to push, but Morning Stars, they still got another fight, Des. That's what's important.
I love how Shark was holding this shield down with right click there as well, trying to wedge it between the members of the enemy team so they wouldn't get healed by the trans. He's kind of just jutting in and out, trying to make sure they were always caught out, but still had the healing. No one got dropped down just yet, but that May shield was, the May wall, sorry, was enough to make sure they were pinned there as 3 and did find themselves cleaned up. Morning Stars now with this final do-or-die fight to hold this one out. We're into overtime.
Big push, Shaq has the slam. There's the self-destruct. Oh, it hits 3 people. This self-destruct, none. And that'll be Winstrike using that beat too. Malzasa, Casper, he's already going to go down. There's both the rallies and the sound barriers have been used, and that transcendence as well from Winstrike. Chow has been farming off Dragon Eddie this whole game and has another grab. Sticks it to the dead neck. Dragon Eddie's going to fall. Winstrike just killing off the last remaining members. Casper gets booped out of the way. Winstrike find a map in the series.
All off Sharik as well. Big brain plays. You see the self-destruct come out. What are you going to do? You're going to drop the Earth Shadow through the payload, knock everyone down, turn around with your shield, and protect your team from the self-destructs. A really smart final play. Ultimately won it for them there, I think.
Slam hit the ground. They were too busy looking at that self-destruct in the back line. If that managed to catch anybody from Winstrike, that could have been all over. But because of that, let their guard down. Malzasa put the shield down. Shark took advantage. 3 members shattered, and it was all over.
Look to that glowing light in the sky, apparently. The self-destruct, too much attention given to it. They got caught out, but, you know, well-deserved by Winstrike as well. Really good map overall, I thought, and probably actually quite reflective of how you could describe this series as being really close between the two. Morning Stars, for the most part, on their attack, when they were the ones being aggressive, they looked like the more dominant side.
Well, 3-1 was the final scoreline for the series. Morning Stars continue their undefeated streak going into playoffs. We're going to jump to a quick break, and then the desk is going to break down the last 2 games.